I've sap collected to do my first boil of the season. This is the third season I've been doing sugaring, so I'm figuring it out as I go, but at this point I got it pretty streamlined, at least for personal consumption use. I tap about 12 trees, and here's the fire just starting out. You can see my cinder block mechanism where I put the chafing dishes on the top, and the holes in the cinder blocks help keep the oxygen circulating, so it keeps the fire going pretty good. So I start with the chafing dishes. I first put one on, and then the second one, and then finally the third. And you can see the sap is extremely clear at this point in the process because it's just getting started. As you can see on the top one, it's just starting to bubble a little bit. And here's all three bubbling away. Usually I have enough leftover sap so that I can pour more into these dishes. They hold about 5 gallons each. And yesterday I had another 5-gallon bucket in reserve, and I poured that in as it evaporated down. And there's my strainer tool you can see on top of the cinder blocks to keep the foam from getting too heavy on the top. And there I am, wielding my tool, which is an important skill to have. And then as it boils down, you start removing them. So I was down to 2, and then finally down just to the last one. And then I kept that one on until it was about a quarter full. It sort of starts getting thickish and kind of like boiling less, and you can sort of tell when it's time to move in. It's kind of brownish by that point, as you can see here. So I put it in the stainless steel pot over the stove top at a low heat and boil it for, I think I boiled it for about 3 hours yesterday inside after the outside boil. The outside boil went for about 6 hours. And then you can see on the right hand side, you can pretty much tell when it's starting to be done because it starts to look a certain way. It kind of looks almost like candy. And then you measure it with the specific sugar gravity thing. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's got a little bulb, and you put it in this stainless steel tube, and when it finally floats, then you know it's done. And then I strain it into one of the maple sap buckets that I was using on the trees on the left-hand side, and then pour it into the sterilized jars. So I got 2.5 quarts out of about 20 gallons of sap, which is pretty much about the ratio 1:40 that you would expect. And it's a pretty light amber color because it's the first one of the season. I like to check out the color. Kind of looks a little bit like a beer to me. Maybe that's just me, but that's what it looks like, and can't wait to enjoy it in the fall.